History Erased. Good morning, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching, it is appreciated. There has been a few things coming up through British politics that the government is doing over the past few days. And I want to get into the 4 things that have happened pretty much in the last 48 hours and give my thoughts on each of these things. They're all related to modernity and the erasing of our culture, and I want to get into each of them in due course. I will only give brief thoughts and comments on each of them because I think it's prescient to keep it brief. The first one is this: wildlife to replace historical figures on banknotes, and we get a say. Apparently, the banknotes are full of people that are too male, pale and stale. Say for example Winston Churchill on the £5 note. And they want to get into some wildlife photography and put these animals on the banknotes instead. This is a specific thing because I remember when I was a child seeing this guy on the back of a £10 note, and this was when I was, I think it might have been 7 or 8, and I was like, who is this guy? And it was Charles Dickens. And obviously I knew of Charles Dickens. We'd done his books in primary school, but I didn't actually know what he looked like. And this is the point when you see pictures on banknotes and you don't know who these people are. And it's good to put a face to the name and a name to the face. And especially for children, you want to see this in everyday usage. And this is the issue. They're looking to erase that connection. They're looking to stop people feeling a tie to the country, and they want to replace the historical figures with animals instead. Word to the wise though, we already have wildlife on our banknotes. They're up in Scotland, but they are sterling, and when you go up to Scotland, you'll see all these different notes, and they all have wildlife on them. So we already have that. So it's not even an original idea. It's a deeply, deeply cliched idea, to be honest. And yeah, this is just one of the things that they're doing. They're looking to remove any specific connection to the country. So the next one is hereditary peers have been or are to be removed from the Lords as the House of Commons votes to get rid of the hereditary peers in the other chamber. Now, I have a major issue with this, and I've got a major issue with it on 2 fronts, just off the back of my head. The first is, I don't want either house in Parliament to be able to regulate the other house out of existence. I don't think that that's a balanced approach to power in any way, shape or form. So I don't think that the House of Commons, the elected chamber, should have the power to decide who sits in the upper chamber. That seems wholly unacceptable. They need to be independent of each other, otherwise you're going to get what we've got now with the new system, which has replaced the hereditary peers. Is you've got the Prime Minister putting his cronies into the other place for political favours, either for the fact that they bankrolled the political party that's in office, or for services not to the country but to the party. So it's completely partisan now, whereas with the hereditary peers there would be some non-party political affiliation in the chamber, which I thought was really, really important. And I'll press on to it with this example. This is Lord Cryer. He is the husband of Ellie Reeves, who is the sister of the Chancellor Rachel Reeves. We've replaced one form of hereditaries with another type of hereditaries, which is the elected hereditary, which is this guy is married to Ellie Reeves. He is now a lord. He was in the previous Labour government. His wife is now an MP in this Labour government, and her sister is the Chancellor in this Labour government. And Ellie Reeves, for example, she is the person who's been championing the removal of the hereditary peers from the House of Lords. So what I would say on this particular point is not only have they erased the history of the hereditary peers in the Lords, what they've also done is they've replaced it with cronies. and we've got a new aristocracy, which is the elected aristocracy, which is you get no marks, and you get people that have got no substance about them at all. They get parachuted into safe Labour seats, and then eventually they go into the House of Lords. So that's my stance on the House of Lords. Was it perfect? No. And I'll pick the hereditary peers any single day of the week and twice on Sunday over the system that's replaced it. Then we get on to the third thing here. This is jury restriction plan clears first hurdle despite Labour dissent. Over 300 Labour MPs, I think it was 304, have voted to abolish jury trials for cases that will deliver under 3 years in prison as a maximum sentence. They're going to be decided by single judges now. Now, as I previously mentioned on other videos, this is specifically about when people do something the government doesn't like. Hate speech, for example, they'll say it's hate speech, and the phrase hate speech is so broadly defined, it can mean anything they want it to mean on a particular day, and it'll be at the discretion of the person who made the complaint, and it'll be at the discretion of the police officer who's knocking on your door at 10 o'clock at night with a cadre of his friends saying, right, okay, you've said naughty things online, you need to come with us. Not only will you not have this decided by a jury of your peers, you'll probably be held in remand now, and you'll be given a sentence by a single judge with no right to appeal. And this has been done by the party, the Working Man and Woman's Party of Britain. Now, I'm going to play this short clip. This is from Tory MP Katie Lamb, and she nails it, which is exactly what I'm saying here.
At the magistrates' courts, free speech defences succeeded in just 16% of cases. In Crown Court cases, where juries very often sit, free speech defences succeeded in 28% of cases. There is a clear divergence between the public's appreciation of justice and the views of the judicial establishment. The result of this government's plans will be to further alienate the public and to drag the justice system further away from the views of the British people. If that's what they want, then they should at least be straightforward about it.
So the situation is, the government has decided, if you're arrested for a crime, you are not a defendant, you are a criminal. The state has taken the judgment that you are guilty, and there is no longer a presumption of innocence. You do not need to be tried by a jury of your peers. You'll be tried by a single judge who's likely on the side of the state because he's probably got the same view, or she's got the same view. That, well, if you didn't post that nasty comment online, you wouldn't be here now, would you? It's not about finding a fact. It's not about being impartial anymore. It's about the jackboot of the state coming down on the neck of the working class man and woman of this United Kingdom. And then finally we get on to digital ID. Let's have a look what they've got to say about digital ID now. Relaunched digital ID will make it easy to access public services, says Darren Jones. Let's just frame it another way. At what point will it become mandatory? At the moment they'll say that the digital ID app on the phone is non-mandatory. It's optional until it becomes difficult to go about your life without it, until it becomes difficult to access standard money from a ATM. Then you'll have to go to digital ID and digital currency. Everything's optional until it's not optional. This is the thing, when they say they're going to restrict under 16-year-olds from using the internet to prove who they are, they also don't admit it, but the implication of that would be, well, to prove that you're over 16, or to prove you're an adult, you're going to have to show your ID as well. So either way, it's papers, please. And then it'll all be linked to your app. And it's people passing the driving passing the driving test now and getting a licence. It's going to be part of a biometric database that can be accessed by the police. Again, this is all about the erosion of the history of the United Kingdom, especially in England, whereas you wouldn't really have any interactions with the state if you didn't want to have interactions with the state. The only interaction would be the postman and the taxman, and you don't have to interact or engage with the state unless you need to. Now they're trying to make it the other way around, which is you can only disengage from the state if we say so. This is unacceptable. This is the European model, not the British model. Now, you may think I'm being a bit conspiratorial with what I'm saying here. I think I'm being reasoned, measured, and I think I'm on the money. Now, if you like this video and you agree with what I'm saying, let me know. If you think I've got this dead wrong and I'm being paranoid, make me aware. Comment, like and subscribe, do all of that great stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. You have a good day and thank you for your time.